Why would anyone mourn the death of a clone? Replicated humans are as disposable as toilet paper, after all, and just as prevalent. No one would weep if a clone were to be executed by robotic sentries or crushed between moving walls. Heck, you wouldn't even be able to tell which clone met his untimely end. They all look alike. But if you had the same DNA as everyone you knew and found yourself trapped in a sadistic obstacle course, you sure would care about your own life. Stealth Inc., A Clone of the Dark follows an individual searching for freedom and delivers an unnerving puzzle platforming adventure. Names are for real protagonists, and Stealth Inc. are just a mirror image of a bunch of other unknown people, so you don't have the pleasure of an honorific. But you can jump, crawl, and flip switches, skills that prove invaluable if you're going to make it out of this nightmarish warehouse in one piece. It's that one piece that's so tricky. As a mere human, you don't have the toughest skin, so one false step in front of a turret means your body could be torn into a million gooey droplets. And the computer intelligence mocking you sure doesn't help. But if you were to step in front of said turret while hidden in the shadows, you could keep your delicate body whole. Color-changing goggles clue you into your visibility, so you can relax and regain your composure when your headwear turns green, and flee for safety when they flash a warning red glow. And you need to get used to staying out of the light if you're going to make it out alive. Avoidance is the only way to survive, but don't mistake this downloadable adventure for a typical stealth game. Rather, Stealth Inc. is a puzzle-based platformer that urges you to move smartly and quickly to avoid the roaming threats. Intricate and brutal level design force you to think carefully unless you like being splattered. And even though the challenge is high, the game always plays fair. Straying into a sentry's line of sight or triggering a booby trap is your fault, though you may need to experiment to figure out how to proceed. Switches populate each level, each with an unknown purpose. One may turn off the death lasers while another triggers a door, but you won't know until you risk your hide to activate them. This forces you to constantly flirt with danger. It takes speed and cunning to leap past a pursuing robot, and there's a chance you're going to meet your end anyway. It's a system that makes death ever present, but not frustration. Because you respawn immediately, you always have a chance to right your many wrongs. Stealth Inc. is at its best when nimble thinking is more important than nimble movement. Your clone isn't particularly agile, so moving quickly can lead to annoying deaths. Thankfully, such situations are rare, so you often have only your own mental failings to blame. Each of the 8 worlds presents new obstacles to thwart you. A stationary blind turret may not seem too difficult, except when the floor chimes loudly when you stand on it. In another world, you find you're not alone, and just how easily it is to kill another clone to save yourself. And the bosses that await at the end of each world up the ante even more. These unrepentant robots require all the knowledge you acquire to defeat, and it's incredible worming through these deathly rooms to prove your worth. Tough, clever, and relentlessly rewarding, Stealth Inc. delivers an empowering adventure. And even if you do survive the gauntlet, there are enticing time challenges that force you to perfect every level. Stealth Inc. tests the limits of your puzzle-solving abilities, making you feel satisfied and triumphant when you rise above the dangers.